Hi, welcome to my channel. It's MMA Mandy with Azim here.
Hi guys, how you doing? Here's Izzy MMA. Probably know me most from my TikTok. And we're here today to discuss the UFC 316
Yeah, we're gonna break
card.
down the whole UFC 316 card from early prelims to main event, and we're gonna both have picks, and hopefully they'll be
Hopefully
clash.
one of us will be correct.
Well, that too. Okay, ready? We're starting with early prelimers because I like early prelimers. This is my
Yes, that's
thing.
your forte. Let's start.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right. The first bout of the card is a lightweight bout between Quillan Salkilled versus Yanal Ashmouz. Quillan Salkilled has 8 professional wins, 3 by knockout, 3 by submission, 1 professional loss. He debuted earlier this year and knocked out Anshul Jubilee after competing in Dana White's Contender Series. Um, Yanal Ashmouz has 8 professional wins, 4 by knockout, 2 by submission, 1 professional loss. He debuted in the UFC in 2013, and he had a knockout against Sam Patterson, which is very impressive. Since then, he had a unanimous decision loss to Chris Duncan in 2023 and a unanimous decision win against Trevor Peek in 2024. What I'd like to say about this, because I have okay, so I love Quinlan Salkilled. When I kind of did this earlier this year, I just never posted the pods yet, but I like broke down the entire card that he was on, and he was the biggest underdog of the whole card. I didn't see that until after like I did picks, but I did see that. Made me kind of nervous. But he did knock out Anshul Jubilee within 19 seconds of the very first round. And he actually got a performance of the night bonus from doing that. So I think it's pretty obvious who my pick is. I think Salkilled
I've
will
got
continue
I'm
to
I've got a
grow.
funny story about Krillin too because I wasn't too aware of him. I do for some people that know me in real life, I know a lot about the Australia regional scene. So I was aware of him, but I've never really watched his fights before that. But when he fought Anshul Jubilee, um, I was with my entire family for once watching the fights, which I never really do. I usually be by myself. And because Ansel Jubilee's Indian, basically, for those that don't know, I'm English. My heritage is English, but my family is obviously Pakistani. My forefathers and everything. And there's like a bit of a rivalry between Pakistanis and Indians. So my entire family really wanted Ansel Jubilee to lose, but they're like, "Oh, we don't know though. He might be good at fighting." Then Quillen obviously knocked him out in how long? 19 seconds.
He knocked him out in 19 seconds of the very first round.
90 seconds very first round, and my entire I didn't really care that much, but my entire family jumped up and celebrated Quillen winning, which is they've never done that for anyone ever. And I even made a TikTok on it, and it's got over 400,000 views or something. It's gone viral, but yeah, I do like Quillen since that. Yamal Ashby is a very powerful puncher. I remember he fought in, I believe it was London, and he had a vicious knockout over Sam Patterson.
Yeah, Sam
Uh,
Patterson is an impressive win, but
but it's not an impressive win, but he has that power.
I think it is. Sam
But
Patterson? I think it is. I
now,
think,
actually, no, it has aged well. It has aged well now, hasn't it?
huh?
Now it's aged very well, that win, hasn't it?
You said what?
The win's aged very well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I don't know what win streak's on, but I don't think Ash Moose is going to go down in 19 seconds. That's the problem.
Oh, wait, what? You
I don't,
don't think
when I'm predicting a fight, I don't know if Ash Moose is going to go down in 19 seconds.
that's fine? I
But at the
mean,
same time,
sure. I don't think that's very common.
I
And
don't think. So how is Quillen in those later rounds against someone that's had more experience at this level? No, I'll go with Quillen. I think he's a cleaner
going my
boxer.
pick?
Yeah, I'll go your pick. I think he's a cleaner boxer. And Ash Moose isn't really like a heavy grappler anyway. So I don't think he needs to worry about that just yet.
Okay,
Um,
so we have the
yeah, okay.
same pick?
Yeah, I'll same pick, but
That's
I'll go
fine. We're gonna
decision.
have much more different.
I don't think he finishes him. Are we doing picks like that? Are we predicting the way it happens or just doing it?
No, just who wins.
All right, okay.
You can do by like how they do it, but I don't do
All
that.
right, okay, that's fine.
Um, Next fight.
Yep, that's my fact.
All right. as a featherweight bout between Jakar Saraji versus Ju Sang Yu. Jakar Saraji has 14 professional wins, 9 by knockout, 4 by submission, 14 professional losses. He recently lost to Anshul Jubilee by knockout in 2023. He went on to knock out Lucas Alexander in the same year, 2023, and then lost to Weston Wilson via submission in 2024. Ju Sang Yu is undefeated with 8 wins, 3 by knockout, 1 by submission. Yeah. Um, do you have any thoughts before I go into who I think will win?
Feel like we don't need to check, but I feel like the odds for this one are going to be very, very wide.
Very, very what?
They're going to be very wide, the odds.
For which fighter? Because I
But
picked Saraji. I think I'll tell you why, but you
okay, I think I'll go the opposite. This is the first time I'm going opposites
okay.
then.
Okay. Should I say why first?
You say why? Because I'm interested to see why you think
Yeah.
Saraji. Go
I
for it.
think Saraji will win because Jusing Yu doesn't have that much professional experience. Saraji has a better finishing rate, and I think that because Saraji does have 2 losses in the UFC, and he has more experience in MMA, I think he has more of like an appreciation of like what it actually takes to get into the UFC, and he's gonna want to keep that, and like I think he's just hungrier for the win, and in a lot of times, whoever's hungrier does end up or winning. So for that reason, I do have to go Saraji.
Okay, you nearly convinced me. I don't think I'm going to go it, but okay, I see your point. I just think I think he loses because undefeated fighters are very arrogant, and that can either go against them or work for them. And I think so like it goes both ways. And I think I just think he's going to thrive early prelims. Not too many people in the arena. I don't think he's going to be too. I think he's going to be confident. Um,
Ju saying you?
yeah, I think he's going to be confident, and I do think he won't finish him. I think he'll go a distance, and I think he'll be one of those where it is really close because, like you said, he's fighting for his job. So Raji, not fighting for his job, but you know what I mean. Like
No,
he's
he
going to be
is. He
very.
is. This is what
In
he
a way,
wants.
he is like because he's been at what he would have lost 3 fights in the UFC within a year or something. So
No, he lost 2 fights. He won one.
he won like one, lost 2 fights, won one. But if he loses this one, like there's a like
Yeah, the
in a
contract
way he's
one.
fighting for his job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that way, that does make him more dangerous.
I know. I know. I take everything into account.
That does make him more dangerous. But let me just look at. No, I'll go Sangyu.
Okay, that's fine. That makes it better when you watch it.
Yeah, I'll go Sangyu. Just because of the confidence of an undefeated fighter. I'll just call that as my sole reason for that one.
That's fair. That's fine. Keep in mind of where he's fighting out of though as well. They don't typically have.
I was gonna say I don't want to be
No, it's
racist, but
fine.
I
You can't take your pick back now.
don't...
Just kidding. Okay. Next bout. Next bout is a welterweight bout between Chaos Williams and Euros Medic. Chaos
Oh,
Williams has 15 professional wins, 8 by knockout, 1 by submission, 4 losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2020. He's as of recent, he's had a split decision win against Rolando Bedoya in 2023. He knocked out Carlston Harris in 2024, and then lost via submission to Gabriel Bonfim in 2025, earlier this year. Euros Medic um, has had 10 professional wins, 8 by knockout, 2 by submission, 3 losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2021 after competing in Dana White's Contender Series. He does have a slight southpaw advantage. As of recent, he's lost via submission to Miktabek Oralby in 2023. He knocked out Tim Means in 2024, and then Punahele Soriano knocked him out earlier this year. And then I'm just because I already have like my thoughts compiled, so I'm just gonna go all in
go
here.
on. I'm doing this kind of off the cuff. You've definitely studied them more than I have. So go for
I've
it.
seen
I
Euros
know who I'm
Medic
picking.
fight live twice. That doesn't play like a factor into like who I'm choosing, but I am choosing him. his losses have been to very like skilled opponents. Whereas Chaos Williams' recent resume doesn't look as impressive to me as Medic's does. And also Medic has never seen a fight go to decision ever in his career. He's never seen a fight go to decision.
I am going to go the same way. I was actually going to say Uros Medic. I really like Uros Medic. I remember when he first came into the UFC, his first few fights, I was like, wow, I like this guy's style. He's got a very fun style to watch. Like you said, it's 100% finishing rate. I think a few years ago, it's closer. I don't think Chaos Williams is washed. I hate that word. But I do think he's slowed down a little bit. Um, I remember he got a vicious KO in the COVID era of UFC. I don't know who it was against. But he used to have some vicious finishes, but now it's kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah.
The finishing potential is still there, but it's not 100% there. I think Uros Medic, like you said, he's lost to very good competition. Um, like he's lost to competition that ain't no joke. Yeah, I do think Uros Medic is it's gonna be a coming out performance for him. His biggest win yet, I would say too. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll go Uros Medic.
We agreed on this one. Um, Next is a heavyweight bout between Sergey Spivak and Waldo Cortez Acosta. Sergey Spivak has 17 professional wins, 7 by knockout, 8 by submission, 5 professional losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2019. He's fought like big names, obviously, in the division. If you are a fight fan, you probably know this. Such as Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gahn, Marcin Tybura, Tai Tuivasa. As of late, he's knocked or Cyril Gahn knocked him out in 2023. He submitted Marcin Tybura in 2024, and Jalton Almeida knocked him out earlier this year. He does have a number 7 current rank in the heavyweight division. Oh, also his fight style is sambo. Interesting.
Hmm.
Waldo Cortez Acosta has 13 professional wins, 6 by knockout, 1 by submission. He has 1 loss. He debuted in the UFC in 2022 after competing on Dana White's Contender Series, as a lot of people enter the UFC that way. His fight style is striker. Recently, or sorry, his only professional loss ever was to Marcos Rogerio de Lima. I don't know, maybe
Yeah, that's what you say. Yeah.
in 2023. But recently he had 2 unanimous decision wins, one against Andrei Arlovsky, one against Robelis de Spain, both in 2024. And he knocked out Ryan Spann earlier this year. And his current rank is 11 in the heavyweight division.
This fight this on the prelims. This is quite a good fight. I mean, the fight you don't really see. Even though it makes sense to go Spivak, I'm actually gonna go Waldo Cortez Acosta.
If I'm gonna hate myself, whatever. If whatever. I think I
Why?
have these in the right order, I'm pretty sure. I like filmed this like a few times. I think I have them in the right order, but whatever. I'll just rearrange them if they're not. But you're gonna
Uh,
go.
I'm gonna go Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Okay, cool. I'm going Spivak because he's only lost to the best in the division. He does have a better finishing rate. He has more professional experience. And when you look at history, Sambo against really any other kind of fight style is dominant, like pretty much all the time.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's
Mostly
true.
because of the Dagestanis. However, against a striker, I'm not sure. I I listed more reasons than that, but I do like my Dagestani men, and I do like my Sambo my Sambo fighters. So
I think Waldo Acosta wins because I like a heavyweight that knows how to win decisions constantly, if that makes sense. This is purely stylistically. I'm not judging us off who's fought better competition, who's more experienced,
no,
because
yeah. I mean,
Spivak has all that. And I think Spivak should be like a heavy favorite. I think you should be going Spivak. But the
okay,
reason I'm going Acosta is because do you remember the rebellious hype that he had in the UFC?
against
No, when he beat Robelis to Spain by decision.
no.
Do you not remember the hype Robelis had?
There's
He
been
literally
no hype in the heavyweight division in so long. No, I don't remember.
no, that really hasn't. But he came in right, and he was like, I think Robelis was like 6-0 with 6 round 1 knockouts inside 60 seconds or something. We can
Yeah.
fact check that later on. But that he had a crazy record, and then he stepped in against Cortez Acosta as like a minus. something like 500 favorite or underdog, and then he just beaten up by decision. He just made it slow and boring, which is impressive for a heavyweight to do. Um, I think it's going to be a close fight. I favor Cortez in the boxing exchanges. I think he's good in the clinch. He
That's
will
good.
get taken down. He'll get
That's
taken down. He'll absolutely get taken down. But like Spivak, we need to remember Spivak isn't an Nurmagomedov. He's not. There's a bit of a difference. But yeah, Spivak will probably win. I think I'd favor him in terms of he should be a favorite. But I'm gonna go Costa. He's got a few good wins back to back. Ryan Spann, Arlovsky, Rob Ellis. Yeah,
Okay. Next bout.
that's enough.
Light heavyweight bout against Azamat Murk- Mirzakhanov
Yeah,
versus Brenson Ribeiro. Azamat Mirzakhanov is undefeated with 14 wins, 10 by knockout, 1 by submission. He does have a slight southpaw advantage. He debuted in the UFC in 2022 after competing on Dana White's Contender Series. He, as of late, has knocked out Devin Clark in 2022, has had a unanimous decision win against Dustin Jacoby in 2023, who just this past fight card
yeah,
had an amazing performance and had one of the best knockouts of the year in December 2024. I know I've talked to you about this before because I loved
yeah.
that knockout by Dustin Jacoby. So, but anyways, and he also knocked out Alonzo Menafield in 2024. He does have a number 12 current rank in the light heavyweight division. Brenson Ribeiro has 17 professional wins, 9 by knockout, 7 by submission, with 7 losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2024 after competing on Dana White's Contender Series, where he lost by knockout to Zhang Mingyang. In the UFC, he had a majority. He lost by majority decision to Magomed. I'm gonna mess this up so bad. Gatsiashulov. He had a
Kind of.
split decision win against Caio Machado in 2024. Both of those were in 2024. And then he submitted Dr. Nergoze earlier this year. And he is 8 years younger than his opponent.
I still think this is one of the easier fights on the card to predict.
Okay, cool. Who do you think?
I'm gonna go Azamat.
Me too.
I'm gonna go Azamat. I just think he has in a way every advantage, and he's even southpaw, which you said. Um,
Yeah.
I think he's fought longer in UFC, more experience, wins against better guys, fought against better guys. Um, he's well balanced. I mean, he's undefeated, so you're gonna have to be well
Yeah.
balanced to an extent. And he's not undefeated as in 4-0 or 5-0. He's undefeated at 14-0, which is impressive, regardless of the level you're at.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go Azamat.
Okay, well, the next matchup. I mean, I'm excited for so many of these, but
This is a good. This is for this three prelim. This is actually quite impressive. I'll give the UFC that. This is a good card.
okay, sure. Um, a flyweight bout between Bruno Silva and Joshua Van. Bruno Silva,
Oh,
14 professional wins, 6 by knockout, 4 by submission, 6 losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2019. As of recent, he submitted Tyson Nam in 2023. He knocked out Cody Durden in 2024, and then also got knocked out by Manal Kopp in 2024. He is currently ranked number 12 in the flyweight division. Um, Joshua Van has 13 professional wins, 6 by knockout, 2 by submission, 2 losses. He's had an impressive 7 fights since he debuted in the UFC in mid 2023. He's previously only fought in Fury, which I thought was interesting. When you usually look at fighters like past, they don't usually only fight with like one,
yeah, he's only fought there, hasn't he?
only
Yeah.
fought Fury. He's had unanimous decision win against Edgar Chairez in 2024, a unanimous decision win against Cody Durden in 2024 as well, and a unanimous decision win against Ray Surya this year. His current rank is number 14 in the flyweight division.
I love Joshua Van.
Me too.
I think a lot of
I've
people
seen
love him.
him. What? Sorry.
You've seen him fight live, haven't you?
I've seen him fight live twice. I absolutely love him.
Wow.
I think he's so hungry to climb the ranks. I think he's so hungry to stay active. Like he just wants to fight, and that's mainly why I'm honestly choosing him. if I'm gonna be honest.
I just love his style. I love fighters, right? And no matter what I have, like, I just love this. I love that, like, he's heavy up here. Bang. Oh my God. So high. His guard is so high, and it's the reason people love Piotr Jan. Because the boxing, the guard is so high, and they're just whipping crispy boxing. I love his style.
Boxing.
Yeah, crispy boxing. And he beat an undefeated fighter late this year, right? That Ray kid, that Asian kid he fought this year was
Well,
undefeated.
yeah.
Came in undefeated. For some reason, a lot of people were picking against Van. And Van came in, looked good there. That Edgar Chavez fight was amazing.
I think I was there for that one. I could be wrong. I've seen him fight live twice. I forget who the first one was against.
Um, I'm gonna go with a vintage Joshua Van performance. Probably a decision, but I think he looked good doing it.
I mean, yeah, that's what he's had recently, so I
Yeah,
guess.
but it'll be a fun fight though.
Okay, well, welterweight bout. Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. Vicente Luque has 23 professional wins, 11 by knockout, 9 by submission, 10 professional losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2015 after competing on season 21 of The Ultimate Fighter. And coincidentally, he's had 21 fights in the UFC since. He's fought the best in the division. He's had a unanimous decision win against Rafael Dos Anjos in 2023. He was knocked out by Joaquin Buckley in 2024 and then submitted Themba Gorimbo in that same year. His current rank is number 14 in the division. He's fighting Kevin Holland, who has 27 professional wins, 13 by knockout, 9 by submission, 13 professional losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2018 after competing on Dana White's Contender Series, and it's just a tribute as to how active he is. Before the UFC, he fought in King of the Cage. He's fought in LFA. He's fought in Bellator. He's just stayed active all the time. This will be his 26th fight in the UFC. He does switch a lot between middleweight and welterweight, so these these three next fights I'm bringing up are just in the welterweight division. He had a split decision loss to the current champion Jack Della Maddalena in 2023, a unanimous decision loss to Michael Venom Page in 2024, and a unanimous decision win against Gunnar Nelson earlier this year. And I have seen both fight live. I saw Vicente Luque at UFC 310. I have seen Kevin Holland fight live 3 times just because he is so incredibly active. I did see that Kevin Holland Jack Della Maddalena fight. I just went there to see Jack Della, but both fighters are experienced and have fought greats. Both of them have fought greats. I mean,
Yeah, I
obviously,
mean,
obviously, yeah. But yeah, my pick is Kevin Holland just because he looked so amazing in that fight against Gunnar Nelson that a lot of people will say that too. A lot of people say that he's better in the welterweight division or he looks better in the welterweight division. So,
yeah, I do think he's better at welterweight because I think he's not as physical as some of the guys at middleweight. Whereas at welterweight, he is that big physical presence in the cage.
right.
So I think he is better at welterweight. But I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna go Vicente Luque. Better grappling, obviously. Very strong jiu-jitsu game, which Kevin
Well,
Holland
you
has
can't say
struggled with.
obviously.
No, but like very strong jiu-jitsu game. Um, Holland has been out grappled by people with lesser grappling than Vicente Luque. I think he's more. I think Luque has lost a few in the last few years, but he's more consistent. Um, I think it'd be a dogfight though. I think this has the potential of being a dogfight, but I am going to favour Luque. So we've gone opposite directions on that one.
Good. We'll see. Next is a bantamweight bout between Mario Bautista versus Patchy Mix. Mario Bautista has a professional record of 15 wins, 3 by knockout, 6 by submission, 2 losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2019. He's had unanimous decision wins against Damon Blackshear in 2023, against Ricky Simon in 2024, and a split decision win against Jose Aldo in 2024. He is currently ranked number 10 in the bantamweight division. Patchy Mix has 20 professional wins, 2 by knockout, 13 by submission, 1 loss. This will be his UFC debut. He previously competed at King of the Cage and became champion in Bellator, as I'm sure a lot of MMA fans probably already know that. Um, Both are switch stances, which you know I love it, switch stance,
We
but
love a good switch stance fight.
I do. But yeah, Bautista's fighting out of MMA Lab, which is where I live here in Arizona. MMA Lab does actually have, they do, okay, technically we have four. If you count Sean O'Malley, we have four fighters in the top 15
Wow.
in the bantamweight division, in that one division. In that one
And
division.
I would make the argument bantamweight's the hardest division.
Yep, we have four out of the 15 out of the top 15 coming out of MMA Lab in Arizona. So,
Who are they? O'Malley, Batista. Who's
uh,
the other two?
Marcus McGee,
Yes, recently fighting Piotr Jan. Who else?
uh, who else? Oh, I don't remember. Let me look this up.
Oh, I think I remember that. What's it called?
I'm mad that I don't remember because I really should. Like, I feel like I know this. Like, the second I
There
looked
is
this up.
one. There is one fighter. It's annoying me now because he trained with O'Malley. I remember he did a video with him.
Actually, well, whatever. Another thing to know is m more of them are from Arizona, but oh, Kyler Phillips, duh.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say it was Kyle Fizzo because
yeah,
someone with long hair was sticking out of my mind. I was
Kyler
like, oh
Phillips.
yeah,
So yeah, so
wow, that is
yeah,
insane.
so
That's probably why they're so
they
good
are
because they're training
trained
with long.
by Benson Henderson, so that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah,
But
better than very intelligent man.
yeah, I think Mario Bautista is getting way too much hate for that fight he had with Jose Aldo, like extremely way too much hate. Okay, he's had interesting fights just because
He has.
whatever. And then also, I'm going Bautista because we do have that Bellator pattern, don't we? Let's take a look at Muscle Milk Mike.
I
How
don't.
was he
Go on.
prepared? Oh, and as
Finish
of
what you're
recent,
saying.
the only reason Patchy Mix is in the UFC right now is because Bellator is no longer a thing. And who else just did that and lost? Pitbull, who was a good fighter. Not saying he's not. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I don't think they have the level of UFC in them that it takes to get it done.
Who was the other fighter from Bellator that just signed? There's another
I don't
person that
know. I
signed.
don't watch B leagues unless it's
The-
Uzman.
the- you know what? I'm gonna go Patchy Mix.
I would think you would.
Reason being because I think Patchy Mix and I forgot his name. He did an entire press conference at the UFC last month by himself. Bellator fighter just signed, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch Bellator fighters
I think those two are very.
unless
They're
it's
not my because they're more new generation fighters. They're not Pitbull. They're not Muscle Milk. They're not coming in their mid 30s trying to make it. After those guys were established UFC Bellator champions that lost the belt in the Bellator and then came to the UFC, right? Whereas with Patchy Mix and the other one, they're still younger guys that have had fights within Bellator and now are coming to the UFC. So I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think Patchy Mix is just gonna absolutely bomb the bantamweight like Chandler did by every lightweight. I'm gonna go Patchy Mix. I think he can negate Batista's grappling. I don't
really.
think Mario Batista. I think Mario Batista. I'm not the biggest fan of his striking. Um,
He's a
I
good
think it's
fighter.
gonna be one of the. I'll say this. I reckon it's a split decision. Either way,
You think it's gonna be a split decision?
I think it's gonna be split decision. Either way it goes. I think it's gonna be that close of a fight. Maybe the closest fight on the card. Um, Mario Batista is good. He gets way too much hate for that Aldo fight.
Yeah,
Um,
that
way
was
too much hate. Don't get me wrong. That fight, okay, it was not entertaining, but he's had other performances where he looked really good. But obviously, because the Aldo fight was the biggest fight of his life, people are going to talk about that. But I'm going to go Patchy Mix.
okay. All right, ready? Next up.
We're two for two. I've gone the other way now. Luke, Holland, and now this.
Didn't we have one other one? We did, I think. We'll see.
Yeah, we did. We
Next
did.
bout. We're gonna disagree a lot here. Middleweight bout between Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer. Kelvin Gastelum has 20 professional wins, 6 by knockout, 6 by submission, 9 professional losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2013 after competing in season 17 of The Ultimate Fighter. He does have a slight southpaw advantage. He had a unanimous decision win against Chris Curtis in 2013. He was submitted by Sean Brady in 2000. Did I say 2013? 2023. 2023 as well. And a unanimous decision win against Daniel Rodriguez in 2024. Joe Pyfer has 13 professional wins, 9 by knockout, 3 by submission. He actually fought in Contender Series twice before entering the UFC in 2022. He has uh, uh, he submitted Abdul Razak Al Hassan in 2023. He
Classic.
He has a, did I butcher that name?
No, no, that was good. You smashed it. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. I was practicing. He has a unanimous decision loss to Jack Hermanson in 2024, and he knocked out Marc-Andre Barrialt in 2024. Um, I'm going Kelvin Gastelum, which I don't think is going to be a lot of people's picks, but I think most of Pfeiffer's victories have come by knockout. Kelvin Gastelum has never been knocked out.
Yeah. He's got one of the best chins of all time. He actually
In
does.
what?
He's got one of the best chins I've ever seen.
In addition, I think Gastelum's recent losses have come to like the absolute best in the division, so it's easy to like whatever. I'm going Kelvin Gastelum.
Hmm. This one stumped me. Because like Python lost to Jack Manson, right? But I think that was way too early. That was a 5 round fight, and Jack Manson's good at slowing fights down. That was a bad stylistic matchup. I'm not gonna hold that against him too much. But just is it still enough for me to think he beats Kelvin Gastelum? Yeah, I'm gonna go Joe Pyfer.
I thought you would. I thought we were gonna disagree on the main card.
I just don't like the consistency of Kelvin Gastelum still, and I think Pyfer's a lot big. Is going to be a
That's
lot
fine.
bigger.
This is gonna be an interesting thing. Okay, this is
Yeah.
good. This is good. Okay, ready? Final bout. I guess it's not a
I mean,
bout. It's for a
okay,
champion.
this is it.
Hmm?
Kayla Harrison wins for everyone watching.
Huh?
Kayla Harrison wins just for the female title fight.
What'd you say?
Kayla Harrison for the female title fight.
Oh, hold on. I don't talk
Just
about
to do it.
that. Yeah, or I guess bantamweight for the belt. Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2. Merab Dvalishvili has 19 wins, 3 by knockout, 1 by submission, 4 losses. He debuted in the UFC in 2017. Since then, he's had, well, a lot, but as of recent, 3 unanimous decision wins, one against Henry Cejudo in 2024, one against Sean O'Malley in 2024 as well when he won the belt. And then he defended the belt for his first time earlier this year against Umar Nurmagomedov. Sean O'Malley has 18 professional wins, 12 by knockout, 1 by submission, 2 losses. He had a 2018 debut after competing on Dana White's Contender Series. He did knock out Aljamain Sterling in 2023. He had a unanimous decision win against Chito Vera in 2024, and then lost the belt to Merab in 2024. He has a switch stance, which you know I do like, but I was there. I'm gonna say a lot right now. I was
You were
there.
there, weren't you, for a good fight?
I was there at Noche um for their first fight. I was there for Merab versus Sean O'Malley 1. And I did have Merab winning that one. I did have Merab winning their first fight. Um I actually met Merab 1 year prior at UFC Noche the year before because me and my dad go to Noche every year. And I met him in Noche of 2023 at the T-Mobile Arena. And he's just like the funniest dude ever. I was so scared to approach him. I was like standing there. I was like, I need a picture with him, but like I'm so scared. My dad's like, dude, like just go up there. Like, do you want me to do it? I'm like, no, 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 I got it. I was so nervous. I was because I like him. I like him a lot. I've always
Yeah.
liked him. I thought he was adorable. I think he's cute. And so I was like, so nervous, and I just like went up to him. I'm like, can I just like take a quick picture with you? Like, this is actually kind of funny. I had my camera out to like take a selfie just because like I didn't want to take up like more than like 5 seconds of his time. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He like took my phone and gave it to like one of his friends to like take a picture of us. And I was like, this is sick. Yeah, okay. Like, hell yeah, okay. And then like his friend, or I don't even know if it was his friend. It was just some guy he was talking to at the time. I don't know. He took a few pictures of us, and then Rob's like, hold on, like, can you take it from like a better angle? Like, he's so funny. And I was like, dude, I love this man. Like, yeah, for real, take it from a better angle. So yeah, I couldn't believe I couldn't believe I had met him. I love Marab. I did have him winning the first fight, but unfortunately, I do not have him winning the second. I'm
Wow.
not gonna.
After all
Don't
that.
say wow. I'm just predicting the fights, okay? I have old Marab merch. Like I actually wore my Marab slides to like well, I guess I can't wear, but I have like Marab slides. I have all of Marab's merch. I actually have a lot of Sugar Sean's like old merch as well, but whatever. Whatever.
Should have worn the Rob shirt while picking Sean O'Malley.
What?
You should have worn my Rob's merch and you
I
and
did. I had it on. I filmed this podcast like 3 times while you were
yeah, yeah. So
talking.
wearing my Rob merch, yeah, and I think O'Malley's gonna knock him out.
I'm choosing O'Malley for this fight. I think O'Malley does thrive as an underdog, like against Aljamain Sterling. Of course, I don't think he won against Peter Yan, but you can make that argument as well. I think he does well as an underdog. If you've seen his recent interviews, like he's been very like locked in and like serious about this fight. And I just every time, like even against Aljo, like when people didn't think he'd win, I thought that was like I thought he would win against Aljo because I like followed him. Like he does eat healthy year round. He does train year round. Like there's not a time where he's just like eating whatever, or, like not training. Like he does that all the time. I think he's a good fighter. Like I think he sometimes like the what is it? Like how do I say that? Like his persona, yeah, like that sugar persona gets like the best of everything. But I am going sugar in this one.
I'm gonna go Rob. I just think I don't think this is a hot take anymore. I think most people say that Merab's probably the greatest bantamweight of all time in
They
terms of
are saying
resume.
that a lot. Yeah, John Anik said that. A lot of people are saying that.
In terms of like look at his names: Jose Aldo, Henry Cejudo, Piotr Yan, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Sean himself. That is probably the best 5 runs anyone's ever had in that division,
And much more than that. He's just been
and
very
more than that, yeah, and more than that. That is his 5 last wins, and I just think he's also, as well as being the greatest, I also think he's the most unbeatable.
I don't know if I can say this, but my friend like told me something about him that
Stay and then chop it out of the video if it's not. I might use that for my fights. That's quite a good technique.
but
I never thought of that. Regardless, the reason I think Merab wins, I think he's the most unbeatable bantamweight in history. I don't think a fighter in the sport has better cardio of all time. I think he's the greatest cardio merchant of all time. Um, I think fight. I will say one thing: to go 10 rounds with Sean O'Malley and not get hurt will be an impressive feat. So
five.
I can see O'Malley knocking him out
Five.
because 10 rounds with O'Malley not to get knocked out.
Five.
That's
Where are we going to
no ten
round?
rounds. No, but as in he didn't get knocked out the first time. So he went
Oh,
5 rounds
oh,
and I
oh,
get knocked out.
oh,
They went 5 rounds and I get knocked
oh,
out,
oh.
and
Okay.
then
I was
I'm not
confused. I was
picking.
like, wait, come on.
I'm
Okay.
not picking. I'm not picking Marab bad decision. I mean, I am picking Marab bad decision, right? So I'm basically saying that Marab is gonna beat O'Malley in 2 5 round fights and not get hurt once.
He did get hurt. I mean,
He did
but
get hurt, but I like bad because O'Malley, when he's got you really hurt, you're probably going out, right? Do I think Marab can survive all those rounds with Sean
I don't
without
think
getting
so.
touch and chin? That's the problem. But I am gonna go with Marab. I think
Okay.
the best cardio in the sport.
I'm excited.
His style's way too. I mean, he's got the game plan. He's got the game plan. He's done it before. I think he needs to rinse and repeat. I don't like what he's been saying that he wants to strike more. Like he's been saying that in a lot of interviews. He wants to
It'll be
strike
like a
more.
Bilal Muhammad versus yeah,
Yeah,
or whatever.
like he has a good chin, but like, come on, like Aljamain Sterling had a good chin. He got knocked out, so it doesn't really matter. Marab 48-47, something like that. I have to go. I can't pick on Miley. I wanted to do it. I can't.
Okay, that's fine. No, this is good.
Yeah,
I knew we'd have a lot of differing opinions, so we'll see who's right.
I think we went the other way on every single fight of the main card.
Not all of them.
At the prelims, I think we agreed, but the main card was all different.
No. Kelvin Gastelum?
No, I said Joe Pyfer.
Oh my God, I think so. I know I knew my shit would be, but you know what? This is a very good like during I remember me and my dad went to Vegas for the Noche card, right?
Yeah.
Their first fight. And I remember the first day we got there, like we took a taxi or whatever and my or an Uber and my dad was like talking about me to the driver and he's like, "Oh yeah, she knows so much about MMA, like we're here for that, like whatever." And so the Uber driver asked me for picks and I was just like, "Okay, well whatever." 4 out of 5 of my picks were underdogs. 4 out of 5 of my picks were right.
Wow.
Though they were so just saying,
Hmm.
I think I am
Did
very
you?
skilled at this shit. Sorry.
So the main event. So you said the underdog in the main event, which is O'Malley.
Hmm.
You said the underdog
All of
game
my
kind of gassed
underdog
me.
picks were everyone except I did pick Brian Ortega. That was the only one I didn't pick correctly. That was the only one I didn't pick correctly from the main card. The only one, Brian Ortega.
Wow. Against Diego Lopez, right?
Uh-huh. Every other one I got right. So
Wow. Did he go?
we'll
Yeah.
we'll
That
see.
is
I'm ready to
interesting.
be wrong. Whatever. It's an
We'll
unpredictable
see.
sport, but I'm excited for this card. But there's a
We'll
lot of girl
see.
fights on it, obviously. There's like three of them, right? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the co-main event, I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't even know if I'm watching the card live.
You're not watching it live?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch it live, but I have to. It's some fucking, I have to. Because I'm gonna report it on TikTok. So I have to. If I have to watch it in my bed, like on my phone, I'll do it.